All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our third quarter town hall. This is virtual only today, looking at quite a few important and exciting updates related to Touro and all of our endeavors. This is our agenda that we should get through in under 30 minutes. I'll mention now to encourage you to stick around to the end as we have some great prizes to give away to those in attendance. I'll give you more details on that as we get a little further into the agenda. So let's kick it off. I'd like to give an update and talk a little bit about our ongoing theme for this year, which is the year of opportunity here in 2025. We've had a video series that we've done with multiple of our staff members related to the year of opportunity, really highlighting opportunities in many ways, opportunities to interact with coworkers, opportunities for education, opportunities for connections to our community. This video is going to highlight opportunity to advance in one's career, a really cute video with some of our staff who are on the 5th floor here in Touro. So I'll kick off the video now.
Touro family, 2025 is our year of opportunity. This year, I'm excited for the opportunity to highlight our team members and their contributions to the extraordinary culture we have here at Touro.
I started here at Touro in 2017. What inspired me is the phenomenal nurses that I worked alongside. They were great, and they encouraged me to go to nursing school.
My supervisor encouraged me and supported me a lot, and she didn't just focus on my current role as a patient caretaker. She always inspired me to become a nurse. So with those kind of inspiration, I knew I could get this done.
What are you all looking for after you finish school?
To become a phenomenal nurse and make a difference.
Okay.
I think I want to become one of the nurses that I admire on this floor. And I also hope that I can become an inspiration for other PCTs coming after me and maybe nurses as well. What do you admire about the nurses here?
What I admire the most is how the nurses work under pressure.
When I first came here, it was a difference transitioning from a long-term care facility to a hospital. I saw more teamwork. I saw more of it didn't matter if it was my job or your job. Everybody was a team. We all stepped in, we helped each other out. And I love my team here.
My supervisor is very flexible with my schedule. I can tell her this week I need Monday and Tuesday off, and then next week I need Wednesday and Thursday. She's gonna just agree and help me out as much as she can.
It helps you feel like you can actually become a nurse by, having the support that I got from my mentors and everyone just showing me that as long as I persevere and prioritize, I can become a nurse.
Yeah, you kind of don't have a choice. They really be on you.
I'm Akisi.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Celicia. And together we're the Heart of Touro. Period.
I really love that video highlighting stuff I see a lot in my time here, and that is staff members being encouraged to advance, many of them wanting to continue their careers here at Touro. You notice the labeling under those young ladies as future Touro nurse, all three of them wanting to continue on as nurses working here at Touro once they achieve that goal. So really excited about that. Our year of opportunity is ongoing, and we have several events upcoming that I wanted to share and encourage you to participate in. First off, we have several opportunities where you can connect with coworkers as well as our community. Touro is a frequent sponsor of multiple walks. We have 2 upcoming, including the NAMI Walk, which is in Audubon Park. NAMI is the National Association of Mental Illness that's hosting a walk in October. And then the Heart Walk is something we do every year, highlighting one of our big service lines here, which is heart care. That's in Lafreniere Park in November. You'll see these also publicized in the e-news, so please keep an eye out. And if you have opportunity to come out and join us at either of these events, please do so. We also are putting a team together for a system-wide cornhole tournament. Not everyone knows what cornhole is, but if you do, we are looking for volunteers to be on the Touro team. Roy Madding is our director of HR at Touro. He's on this call. He is taking volunteers of anyone who not only knows what cornhole is, but maybe a particularly talented cornhole player to join the Touro team, take the opportunity. This is going to be a competition against the other hospitals in LCMC. So we're looking forward to that event upcoming as well. To highlight opportunities for wellness, something that is near and dear to my heart. We are very close to opening an outdoor wellness space at Touro. So if you know our campus, or if you don't, across the street, across Future Street, from the entrance to Touro that has the PJs, there's a building called the Medical Plaza. The courtyard of that building is being redeveloped into a wellness space for all of our employees who work on our campus. We are just waiting on some shading apparatuses to arrive. And once that happens, within a couple of days, that space will be completed. So looking at an October opening, we will actually have a grand opening out there to encourage everyone to come check out the space. It's a place you can go to have lunch outdoors if you have any free time during your day, particularly as the weather is improved. Looking forward to have that space being something communal for those that work on our campus. And then just last week, we opened and began to publicize what we're calling our convenient care clinic. This is a location within one of our primary care clinics in the St. Charles building, which is our building that's on St. Charles next to Superior Grill. That location on the 4th floor has dedicated a space that will act as a urgent and/or walk-in clinic for our staff. If you wake up with a sore throat one morning or have a backache, this is a place that can tend to those needs. You can either write this phone number down, or this also will be in our e-news on an ongoing basis. This clinic will take walk-ins of staff who have needs. The phone number is if you want to call to give an appointment time or a time to be seen there. So really excited to have that be something that's available for our staff currently. And then as an opportunity to give back, we had last year our very first Great Touro Bake Off. We used that event as a fundraiser for the Touro Foundation. We're doing that again this year, and we are pushing the event into November to coincide with what is our employee giving campaign. The goal of the employee giving campaign is to ask employees to donate funds that go to our employee crisis fund. This crisis fund through the years has supported many employees who have either disaster crises, health crisis, family crisis, and have needs that this fund has been able to assist with. Our Bake Off will be a bake sale as well as a competition that will raise money for this employee crisis fund. We had quite a bit of participation. It was a really fun event last year. I'd love to see some of our clinics and outpatient departments get involved. So if you may want to poll to see if you have good bakers that you work with, and more details to come on this event as we get a little bit closer, including the date of the event. Employee giving campaign is also in the month of November, and that will conclude with Giving Tuesday on December 2nd. Two big giving days in New Orleans. Give NOLA Day is in the spring, and Giving Tuesday is December 2nd, and we'll close out employee giving campaign. So looking for opportunities that our employees can give back. To jump into hospital updates, I have quite a few of those. I'd like to share briefly a key performance indicator dashboard for Touro that highlights metrics that we follow that helps us evaluate the care that we're providing to our patients, both on the inpatient side and the outpatient side. So this dashboard, I'll call your attention to the colored boxes. These boxes are colored just like a stoplight. So a green box is meeting target for that metric, so that's good. A yellow box, you don't see any of those, but yellow is being just under target. A red box is significantly under target, and I'll talk about that one red box on the dashboard. Blue means you're significantly exceeding target, so blue is a really good measure to have identified. If we start at the top of this slide, you'll see 3 different measures of patient experience. That's an inpatient measure, an emergency department measure, and a medical practice measure. So all of our patients in these 3 settings are all surveyed once they have achieved care and asked to rate that care. And you'll see on the inpatient side, we are meeting target with a rating of 76.4%. All of these ratings are a percentage of those patients that rate their care as a 9 or a 10 on a 0 to 10 scale. Any score under a 9 is rated as a 0. So of these 3 measures, on the inpatient side, 76% of our patients rating their care as a 9 or a 10. In the emergency department, aggregately, 70% of those patients, and doing very well on the medical practice side, almost 92% of our patients who are coming to clinic visits or outpatient procedural visits are rating that experience as a 9 or a 10. So really strong performance there. In the infection measures, we measure infections on patients who are admitted to our hospital. CLABSI signifies an infection of a central line. That's a big IV used for certain types of therapies. We've only had 1 of those infections so far this year through August, so we're performing well there. CAUTI is a sign of an infection of a catheter, a Foley catheter, which is indwelling in a bladder for patients who are bedbound in the hospital. We've only had 1 of those infections through the year so far, so also doing well there. And then the other 3 are infections, and specifically C. diff is a bacterial infection of the intestinal tract that we take very great steps to prevent. We've done fairly well there. We've had a few of those this year, but are still meeting target. The one area of challenge is MRSA. This is a methicillin-resistant Staph aureus. This is a bacteria that lives in our community, and we take very big pains and efforts to try to keep that infection out of our hospital. We've been intermittently successful through the years. It's a very, very challenging infection to keep out of the hospital because of how prevalent it is in our community. So as you see, that measure is red, which means we have a lot of work to still do in trying to prevent that. Surgical site infection, SSI, that's an infection post-surgery on the colon or the intestine. We've had none of those infections so far this year, so we're performing at a very high level there. And then the last 2 measures on this dashboard are preventable harm rates. This is an aggregate of multiple events that we work to avoid. That includes the 5 infections that are above it, but additionally includes things like pressure sores or injuries, falls, and preventable blood clots from being bedbound for extended periods. You can see Touro's box is blue there, which shows that we're doing exceedingly well in preventing harm for our patients. The last box is the system as a whole. All of our 8 hospitals are also performing well. They're all in aggregate at target, but you can see that Touro is performing significantly better than that. Moving on to some awards and accreditations. We've had a very busy year this year. All of you probably were touched by our Joint Commission survey in the spring. We had a very strong survey with a lot of high performance in multiple areas. Touro performed the best in this survey that it's done in well over a decade. We had multiple areas that had 0 deficiencies. That includes our operating room had no deficiencies. Our women's service areas like labor and delivery and nursery had no deficiencies. Our inpatient rehab unit had no deficiencies. And our clinics that were surveyed also had no deficiencies. So kudos, very strong performance there for that survey. They will not be back for another 3 years. CARF is a survey of our inpatient rehab services that happened post-Joint Commission. That was highly successful as well. And then to highlight women's services, we have Birth Ready Plus designation in our women's services areas here. That is with the Louisiana Perinatal Quality Collaborative. That's a statewide organization that monitors quality in birthing centers. We have their highest level designation now for 4 consecutive years. Because we have a lot of confidence in the safety in our birthing center, we asked the Joint Commission to come back to Touro in the early part of this summer to do an additional 5-day survey of our women's services area. And we were able to achieve 2 additional accreditations. The first one that I'm very proud of is that we are a level 4 maternal level of care center. This signifies Touro as a regional transfer destination for perinatal care. Essentially, what this tells us after Joint Commission has done a deep dive into our services is that Touro is the safest place to have a baby in the entire region. This level of care, level 4, we are the first hospital in the entire state to achieve that designation. There is no other hospital in Louisiana that is rated that highly, and we are the 100th hospital to achieve that across the entire nation. So we're very proud of that designation. Additionally, the Joint Commission looked at our nursery services, and we also achieved advanced certification in perinatal care for the care that we do for moms, both before delivery, post-delivery, and the babies in our nurseries and NICUs. Our cardiac care for heart attacks and also our care for strokes were recertified this year by Joint Commission using something called Get With The Guidelines. We got several kudos for both of those programs, particularly highlighting the care that we give to patients with heart attack and stroke who also have diabetes. We're really proud of those services. Diabetes is something very prevalent in the Touro community. I'll highlight that Newsweek magazine called out Touro for 2 specific things. The first is they rated Touro as one of the best maternity hospitals in the nation. I think that level 4 designation did help us with that. You'll see the front of the hospital. We actually have been marketing that as we're super proud of that call out in Newsweek. Newsweek has also rated our inpatient rehab unit as one of the best in the state. So one of the best physical rehabilitation centers in 2025 in the state of Louisiana. NOLA.com had an article about our Leapfrog safety grade rating of A. They called out hospitals that they label straight A hospitals. These are hospitals that have been Leapfrog A hospitals for 2 consecutive years, which we achieved earlier this year. We're one of only 2 hospitals in the city that have been able to do that. And then finally, Becker's, which is a national healthcare publication, highlighted top hospitals for patient experience all across the nation. And Touro was the only hospital in the New Orleans area that was recognized for patient experience. They did not recognize any Ochsner facilities, did not recognize any other LCMC facilities. So really proud of this year, a very busy year of award and accreditations for Touro and Touro's family. And then to talk about some upgrades and improvements, some things that we have done this year and some things that are upcoming. So Strongline is a duress device that we piloted last year in our emergency department and our women's services area. That pilot was so successful and we got such great feedback from staff that we have decided and did earlier this year expand that program. So we have rolled out additional of those devices to another 1,000 staff across our enterprise on our campus. That's hospital staff and clinic staff on our campus. That also allowed us to expand the catchment area of those devices. So now, as you are walking on our campus in any of our clinic settings or in our major parking garages, that device will be captured by security if you press it. So we're really excited about that increase to security for our staff. So if you have one of these devices, that catchment area includes the majority of Touro's campus now. We did a few renovations on the interior of the hospital. The nursing education classroom on the 6th floor of the hospital got a major renovation as we are continuing to expand our nursing education program. Our learners, who are residents and fellows that rotate and train at Touro, got a new space on the 3rd floor with workspace, call room space, lactation space for those breastfeeding moms. Our indoor wellness space opened earlier this year, and I mentioned earlier that we'll be opening the outdoor space fairly soon. Our cath lab number 2, that's one of our 4 cath labs, is presently under renovation, soon to reopen with state-of-the-art equipment for doing high-level intervention on patients with heart disease. Our major conference room, called the President's Room, got upgrades to its audiovisual equipment, which was sorely needed to help us improve meetings and other things that we have in that area. And then I'll mention parking because that's something that's been ongoing for quite a while. We have parking changes coming very soon. So our 4 major parking garages very soon will have the gates coming down. This is an effort to continue to allow for free patient parking, but to make parking more manageable, particularly keeping the neighborhood out of our parking garages. We've really struggled with the gates up and keeping those garages open enough to have available parking spaces for our patients when they come for care here, be it in the hospital, our outpatient settings, or our clinic settings. And so starting tomorrow, we will begin to bring the gates down. The Medical Plaza garage will be the first garage that the gate will come down. And over the next several weeks, gates will come down in the Della Chase garage, the Britannia garage, and the St. Charles garage. That will impact staff depending on where you are assigned to park. Your badge will be the only way to get in and out of your assigned parking garage. If you're not assigned to a garage, you will not have access to that garage. All patients will be allowed to validate, and all of our clinics have been given the tools to be able to validate patients who are coming for clinic appointments. Similarly, patients that are coming to access services within the hospital or some of our other outpatient endeavors will have full validation. So really excited to get that going and finally get that project completed very soon. A few upcoming informational items. Our home health entity will be relocating outside of the hospital into the Medical Plaza. That's been a sorely needed change. We're renovating office space for those staff members now. And then Touro's Ambulatory Surgery Center, which is on the first floor of the Britannia Medical Office Building, will begin construction of a major renovation next month. Starting next week, that center will begin to close. All of the surgeries and staff will move into the hospital for the approximate 7 months it's going to take to renovate that space. We're doing a major renovation, which is going to increase the square footage of the space, expand it from a 3 OR surgery center to a 6 OR surgery center, really allow for quite a bit more procedures and other things that can be done within that center, and will bring something shiny and new to Touro's campus for the first time in a very long time. So really excited about that. And then my last update is just information item that we will be having a very much abbreviated engagement survey coming up in just a few weeks. Most of you know we normally do an employee engagement survey around this time. We've discovered in the past few years that this survey has become quite a bear. It's very lengthy, takes a lot of time to get through, and ultimately a lot of the questions that were asked of this survey were not particularly useful. Certain questions definitely are useful, comments are certainly useful, but the plethora of questions that were asked were not. And so we are in the midst of assessing different vendors to administer the survey going forward. And we had initially decided not to give and administer a survey this year, but on further thought, the feedback that we get from these surveys is very important in informing our operations and plans for the upcoming year. And so we will be sending out a survey in just a couple of weeks. We're calling it a pulse check survey this year because it's going to be only 13 questions, a very short survey. 10 of those questions will be relatively specific. 3 of them will be fairly generalized. That will allow all of you to provide feedback, including comments, talking about things that you think are going well, things that you would like to see us doing better. So we're going to be getting that survey out. Do not screenshot or this QR code. It's not going to work. That will be coming out on the 29th. So just under 2 weeks from now, we'll be rolling out that survey, very short survey, and please asking for you to take the time to give us your feedback. So that concludes my updates, but I am available to answer questions. You can submit those questions in the chat. We will keep this screen open for about 10 minutes once we close out the town hall. If you have a question, this is being recorded. I will respond to your question via email. So please leave your name and your department so I can do that if you have a question. Additionally, we have prizes to give out. And so you'll see on the screen, we're giving out black and gold t-shirts that you can wear on T-shirt Fridays during Saint season. We have movie tickets to give out, and then we have 2 tickets to an upcoming Saints game that one lucky person on this call will get. That's the Saints versus the Giants, which is upcoming in October. To get one of these prizes, you do have to enter your name in the chat. Please enter your full name as well as your clinic or your department so that we can track you down as we pull those names to give out these prizes. Pretty much everyone on this call should be able to be eligible for a prize. Which prize you get is going to be completely random. So please enter your name, your clinic, or your department so we can find you. This will remain open for about 10 minutes post the close of this call to give everyone time to enter that information. I want to thank everyone for joining today. Hopefully you got some useful information out of this town hall. While the Saints did start 0-2, we still have 15 more games, so 15-2 maybe is a possibility. Who knows? But I will say who dat. Hope everyone is doing well. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.